Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to a little life update video. I in the past did these like every 6 months and I suddenly realised I haven't filmed one in a year. The last one I had just announced that I was buying a flat, which obviously I'm living in now with my sister, but yeah, that was last September. We moved in March. A lot has happened in the last year. I figured it was time for an update. I have a few things I want to touch on for sure, but I went to Instagram as well and was like, what do you want to know? So we've got these questions as well. Obviously, as you've seen from the title of this video, there's a pretty major update, but let's start with some easier stuff first. And yes, I'm drinking my squash out of my little Anthropologie mug, looking for ways to really brighten the season and just get in the cozy spirit. I'm still not a tea girly though. And start with the question I get in pretty much every time I do a Q&A. Any Disney trips planned soon? Next Disney World trip? Any cute trips planned? And just generally like, when are you going to Disney next? Which I get because my channel is obviously built on Disney vlogs and also it's my favourite place to go. I said it, like I'm not ashamed of that. So I have a very exciting trip coming up in December. I am going to Disney World, but it is a different kind of trip because it's my mum's 60th birthday trip. So it's my mum, my dad and my sister, and we are arriving on a Friday. We then have Saturday, Sunday in the parks, and then on the Monday we go on the Disney Wish at Christmas time. This is a true dream. I've done 2 Disney cruises so far. They've both been European ones though, so obviously not Castaway Cay. This will be my first time going to Disney's private island. Fingers crossed if the weather is all good. Going to the Bahamas, being on the Wish, which just looks beautiful. We are staying on the floor, which is either Cinderella or Frozen rooms. I would take either. I'm just so excited for that. I feel it's going to be the best time. It's Mama Torbs' magical 60th celebration at sea. I'm able to get t-shirts made for that. So we have that Monday to Friday. We are off the ship quite early in the morning on the Friday, and then we are doing Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party that evening, and then we have Saturday, Sunday, and we fly home Monday. So it's a pretty big trip. Oh, I should probably say as well, we are staying at a couple dream resorts. First one is the Grand Floridian. It's my mum's favourite place probably in like the whole world, so we are staying there for 3 nights, and then the second half of the trip after the cruise we are staying in the beach club. What the heck. So yeah, pretty crazy. I just can't believe it's happening. Disney at Christmas time and also the cruise, like the countdown is on. I do actually have another trip planned as well, but that kind of ties into another question I got. Any future Run Disney plans? So I did the Run Disney Princess Weekend this year and I had the best time. Did the whole thing, the 5k, the 10k, the challenge. It was incredible. It was a whirlwind. It was insane. My first Run Disney event, my first half marathon ever, and I had the best time. And I was like, okay, this is a one and done kind of situation for me. Foolish, I know, I have an addictive personality. And I said like, no, I'm not doing it next year because I'm going at Christmas time, like I'm not going back in February. The themes came out and I was like, so I don't love Mulan or Jasmine, I'm sorry, come for me, but Aurora, like that's so cute. And also Maleficent was in the design and I was like, make it pink, make it blue, like the whole vibe was just immaculate. I did Run Disney this year with Ruth, Mel and Lucy. Ruth is sadly being sensible this time, but Mel, Lucy and me are doing the Run Disney Princess half marathon. Just the half marathon. I say just. I keep saying that when I'm in the office and like talking to people and they're like, just a half marathon, like it's still a lot, but I'm so excited to do that and just like fully embrace it because I feel like the last time I did it I was very nervous about getting swept, whereas this time I did a half marathon back in England in April and I've got enough for a proof of time, so hopefully I'll be in like the B group, so I'll have a bit more of a buffer, whereas this time I was in the D group, so I was like panicked about finishing on time. Like I was fine, I finished it in like 2 hours 40, like it was absolutely fine, but yeah, this time so excited to just relax. And for that one we are doing a few nights in the princess rooms again at Port Orleans Riverside. We've got a really good cast rate thanks to Mel, and then the second half of the trip we are in a brand new resort for all of us, Coronado Springs. I've heard really good things about it. It looks very chilled but also like has that luxury feel having the tower. Oh, the sun is coming through. So that is coming up in February. But even more exciting, I would say potentially, I mean for me personally, this is going to be a warm-up half marathon. It's going to be part of my training plan because in April I am running the London Marathon for Make-A-Wish. This is crazy. My sister did the marathon this year. She did incredibly well. She finished the marathon. She is not a runner. I did kind of think, I was like, okay, so if Alice can do it, who hadn't even ran a 5k a year before, I think I could do it. So I applied for a fundraising place with Make-A-Wish. It's a charity that really means a lot to me. I obviously grew up going to the Disney parks myself. Then I worked there and I encountered so many Make-A-Wish kids and families whilst I was working there. I did a couple summers, if you didn't know. I don't know how new people are to my channel, but I worked in Disney World for 2 summers. I was a merchandise cast member and that meant that basically every day I was meeting a Make-A-Wish family and trying to like do little things to make their holiday even more magical, whether it was like stickers, bubble wands, giving them extra attention when we were building lightsabers, making calls to restaurants to like put in special requests, like just doing everything to go above and beyond. And then when I've been working at Disney Plus for the last 2 years, Disney is obviously very closely tied to Make-A-Wish. So I've been doing lots of volunteering in the office, so helping to package up like the boxes that get sent to kids before they have their wish granted, and just like helping in that side. So I thought if I'm gonna run for a charity, I really feel like this would be a good one. They say on average it costs £2,500 to grant a child's wish, and that is my fundraising goal that I have to raise to do the marathon. I'm very intimidated by it because it's a big sum of money. Say 2,000 people watch this. If you all donated £1 or $1, I'd almost be there. So like, I don't want people to have to donate more than they can afford. Obviously, totally get everyone's financial position is different. If you are not able to donate, that is totally fine. But if you want to, I will leave the link down below. I know a lot of people wait till near the time to donate, but if you do donate like now, the money will go to the charity straight away. It's not just gonna sit there in a pool like waiting to be transferred across. So yeah, also it'll probably help my anxiety, where I'm like, am I gonna be able to raise that much money? Like, what happens if I don't? Do they just not let me run? I'll also be donating my own money. I have been selling clothes and things on eBay and Vinted. I think I've made about £150 so far, so I'm actively like doing things to raise money and donate as well. I'm not just relying on the generosity of other people, but it's a really good, incredible charity. Link down below, please check it out. Every pound would be appreciated. How is home ownership going? Have you had any issues since you bought your flat? I don't think we've had any issues. I would just say that like service charge is insane in London, so our mortgage isn't too bad, but the service charge is brutal, and it comes every 3 months and you're never expecting it, and I'm like, what am I actually paying for? Like, yes, we have a lift, a guy takes in the packages, there's a little bit like a courtyard area, but like the amount that we pay for service charge is ridiculous. But it is worth it because I live in an amazing area. I love it. Incredibly lucky. The service charge though is just out of control. Favorite 3 things in your life recently? Number 1, I would say, is pre-work coffee dates. Me and my friends all live like fairly close to each other, so we started seeing each other before work for a little coffee, and I just love that. It gets the day off to a good start, it gets you out the house early. Number 2 is baking/cooking. Now that I have a lot of ingredients in my flat, I feel like I'm more inclined to do it. So I obviously baked Taylor Swift's chai cookies the other week, so I bought all the stuff like the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, and now I have it. I'm like, well, I can just make some more stuff. So my friend came around yesterday, we made pancakes, and I'm already looking up recipes for making some Biscoff cookies as well. So I'm really enjoying getting into that and hopefully doing even more of it. Number 3, running. Genuinely, I'm really enjoying it at the moment. I'm trying to do like 2 or 3 runs a week, but also not go too crazy, because once marathon training starts, there'll be no other option but to run 3 times a week. But yeah, I'm really liking it, which who would have thought she will be a runner. Oh, I should say as well, if you do donate to my fundraising page, please add a song to add to my playlist, because I'm obviously going to have some very, very, very long runs coming up, and it can't all be Taylor Swift. So non-Taylor Swift recommendations, please leave them when you donate. Good book recommendations. Ooh, let's look at what I've read recently. Shamefully, I don't know if it's shamefully, but like, they're obviously not the best quality literature. Freida McFadden, or McFadden, whichever one it is, the one that has like The Teacher, The Housemaid, The Inmate, all those books. If I'm ever in a reading slump, I read one of those, I'm instantly ready. Like, I tear through those books. They are so easy to read, but also I never guess the twist at the end. So if you like a bit of a thriller, I really recommend hers, and they are on Kindle Unlimited, so they're free if you pay for Unlimited. So they're not like top quality literature, but for me they are a 5-star read. And I also have a couple that have been really good over the last year. This Could Be Everything is just a really lovely book. It is not very plot driven, so I feel like if you're someone that needs like a quick plot, it's not for you, but I just love the way it was written. Lots of observations on life. This one is a similar vibe. If you've read Everything I Know About Love, that Dolly Alderton one, very mentally unstable protagonist, but like, aren't we all? I would probably recommend these 2, but like I said, they're not plot driven. I think I gave both of these 5 stars. Did you get braces? I've had a few people comment this on my videos recently. I had Invisalign, but like back in 2020 and 2021. I don't know why people are suddenly like asking this question, but yeah, I got it, and it wasn't a secret at the time. I put it in my videos. Yes, is the answer. I feel like it's quite obvious because I had like quite crooked teeth, and 2020 was the perfect time to sort it out. This next one made me laugh. Are you still friends with Fee? I feel like I haven't seen her on your Instagram and videos. Believe it or not, friendships exist sometimes offline. Obviously, Fee has been in loads of my videos over the years, and we had our big trip together last November, which was a dream. I haven't really done like many London vlogs at all over this year. I feel like it's mainly just been trip ones. So yes, me and Fee are still friends. It's all good, guys, don't worry. She's not going anywhere. It's just that like, mainly I just vlog holidays, and we haven't gone on holiday together this year, unfortunately, as much as I would love that. So that's the only reason. But yeah, I still see her. I literally went for a walk with her on Tuesday. I saw her last week. It's all good, don't worry. Em and Fee are still going strong. But if you would like to see more of Fee, comment down below. Let's peer pressure her into booking another trip. Fave night for surprise songs you got at the Eras tour? Probably night 1, Hits Different, which was insane, and Death by a Thousand Cuts. And then we also got the Black Dog and like the Mega Bridge mashup, which is just insane. That was incredible. Obviously getting the 1989 mashup when I was dressed as Shake It Off cheerleader was iconic, but that night we had Gracie Abrams, which I love. Like, I love that I got to see her, but I'd listened to Us maybe twice since it had been released because it only came out on the Friday. I saw her Sunday, so I feel like the vibe was a bit off because the whole stadium was like, well, we don't know the song, so we're just kind of like observing a performance. It was beautiful, but like you was kind of envisaged like screaming along to a surprise song, not just sitting there being like, this is very nice. But that night we also got Travis, which was insane. And then also the last night that I had when it was Getaway Car, when Jack Antonoff came out, and we also got So Long London, that was iconic. I'm still not emotionally ready to talk about the fact that I missed You're on Your Own Kid by one night. Like, I'm a little bit mad at her still. We'll just move swiftly on. Okay, and now it's time for the one that most of these questions are about. I could probably say like half of the questions are asking the same thing. How come you're leaving your job with Disney Plus? What's your new job situation? Are you leaving Disney Plus? Job career update. What are your plans for work after Disney? Job updates. Heard you say you want to get a new job in your London autumn vlog. Where are you working? Guessing you're not working for Disney anymore. Are you still working at Disney? There's a lot of questions. So yeah, it's time for the job update. For context, I started working at Disney Plus in June 2022. And I was hired as a freelance copywriter. I had a 6-month contract, and basically every 3 to 6 months my contract would have to be extended, which often came down to the wire, and that it was literally like the week before. I think the worst ever was like 3 days before the end of my contract it finally came through. So it has been a little bit of a stressful situation. That is very normal. That is freelance life. That is what I signed on for. Freelance has a lot of perks in that you get paid more, there's a bit more flexibility, but there is that instability and anxiety and like not knowing when you're gonna get extended and if you're gonna get extended. And to put a long story short, there is a rule which basically says that you cannot freelance for longer than 2 years, and you would have to take a break. Obviously in June I hit the 2-year mark, but I'd already signed on a contract which was going until the end of September. So in effect I just can't stay on anymore with them as a freelancer without taking a break. But that was kind of like the first obstacle. Very sorry about the changing setup, but the sun was not behaving for me at all, so I've just moved into the bed, which, you know, it's good. It signifies change. It's a time of change, and like I was saying, obviously things are changing with my role. So it went from being, well, it will go from being a 5-day-a-week role to a 2-day-a-week role, just because of how much work there is has changed, which kind of has all lined up at a good time, in that like I would have had to take a break, but obviously it was going to be 2 days a week from October, which isn't financially for me going to work out. Like, I'm not someone who wanted to actually be freelance. Like, I took the freelance contract, but it was like assured work. It wasn't like, oh, I'll do 2 weeks here, a month here, have a bit of a break. All that being said, I finished at Disney Plus in, at the time of recording, I think I have 2 weeks left. Obviously I think when this goes up I will have left, or it will be like the day I leave. Very strange, very crazy. It's obviously been like a big chapter of my life. Obviously I've shared a fair bit on my channel. I know you guys were all really excited for me whenever I announced it, whenever I got an extension. You were always like rooting for me, and I so appreciate that. At the end of the day as well, we keep moving forward, we keep opening new doors, and I had actually reached a point, I will say probably about 6 to 9 months ago, where I wasn't feeling fulfilled by my role anymore. Obviously a copywriter just does words, and as you will know from following me, or whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, I am a creative person and I love social media. I love creating content for social media, and it always felt quite restricted that I couldn't do more with my skills, my interests of what I wanted to do. So as soon as I found out the whole changes were happening, I thought, this is my time. I need to do a role in social media. This is my next move. I need to be in social. I reached out to a bunch of different people, applied for some roles, and spent the last kind of couple of months really hustling and doing what I can to secure a new role. And I can say I do have my new position, and I actually can't quite believe it. Like, I'm so excited, you know, it's like everything happens for a reason. When I first found out the news about my whole role, I was so sad and obviously like gutted, and I made a little TikTok being like, I'm making this when everything does turn out and it's all fine in the end, and it's gonna turn out fine. I have accepted a role as a social media producer, and it is with an agency. That's all I'm gonna say about it for now, because obviously I don't start it until the middle of October, and also like I don't know how much I'm gonna share. The new chapter will be coming soon, and I cannot wait. I'll be in my social media era officially. I do feel like, yeah, I've been making content on social media for, how long has it been? 6 to 7 years, and it feels like it's finally coming to fruition. As much as I do this because I love it, I love documenting my life and sharing it, it's also really cool to know that like this has now led to something professionally that I really want to do, and all my hard work is gonna pay off. That is my news. I'm not gonna share too much because obviously it is like my job, my career, it's professional, you know, we have to be sensible about it, but I couldn't be happier and I can't wait to get started middle of October. So after North Carolina, I will come back, a fresh start, ready for my new role, my new chapter, ready to move on. So yeah, there's no big like crazy tea around Disney Plus, nothing I'm going to share. Obviously, once again, I'm keeping things professional. It's just that I was a freelancer. My time came to go. Roles change, companies change, and in the words of Matilda Swift, in your soul, you know when it's time to go. Sometimes moving on is the one thing that can find you the right thing. And I think I found my right thing, the next right thing. Feeling very lucky, very excited, and ready for something new. Obviously, I will still always be grateful to my Disney Plus chapter of my career. When I got that role, it was my dream role. Like, genuinely, I was so excited for it, and I thought, yeah, this is the forever role. And then plans change, passions change, companies change, and it's time for the next thing. I've made some incredible friends, made incredible memories, eaten way too many cupcakes. I feel like Disney Plus is the most sugared up department of the whole building. I'm also just so grateful I got to come back and work for the company in like a professional corporate setting, you know, like that was always the dream. From when I worked in the parks when I was 21, like I was like, that's what I want to do. No bad blood, this is not an expose video, this is just me sharing the realities of freelance life and jobs and finding the next thing. So that is all of the updates. I feel like a lot has been happening over the last, well, definitely the last couple months. I haven't really shared on the internet because it's been a bit of a mess in my brain trying to figure it all out, but it's worked out fine. We persevered. And I also think it's important to say, like, I could have just come on here and been like, I have a new job, and not shared like the hardships along the way and the low points. But I do think it's really important to be transparent and not make it seem like my career has just been like one thing to the next and just like loving life and everything being great, because that's not realistic. That is not what most of us deal with. We have, you know, work insecurities and struggles, and you never know what's going to happen next. So thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you could please check out my fundraising page for Make-A-Wish for the marathon down below, that would be amazing. Let me know how much you want to share about like the marathon training process. Should that be more of a TikTok thing? Would you like to see full vlogs? Again, I'd love to know. I think training will start mid-November for that, and for now I'm just kind of like keeping up my general fitness level. But yeah, check it out. Like I said, £1, $1 even would really mean a lot. Give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below, I don't know, anything else you'd like to know. I feel like I kind of laid it all out on the line. Subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you in the next one.
Now I'm the king of the swingers, oh, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me.